Hey everyone, welcome to an episode of The Pursuit of Being a Stand-Up Leader. My name is Jared Whitman, and I'm here with John Russell of The Business Source, and also author of the book, Be a Stand-Up Leader, The ABCs of Getting the Job Done Right. During this podcast series, we've been breaking down John's book chapter by chapter, and this is actually the last episode of this version of the podcast. I think what's really cool is how this whole thing kind of came together. And John and I are just going to talk a little bit more about where we started, how we got started, a little bit more backstory on that, where we are now, which is the last episode, and what we learned, and then how what is in this podcast series can be applied for you and your business. John.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Fantastic.
This is the last day of filming.
For now.
For now, yes.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do some filming one way or the other, but you know, your commitment on doing this project for the book and Lucas's commitment has been incredible.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
I think when we started, you were actually referral.
Yeah.
By two people that we both know,
Right.
That I bought mass media from,
Right.
And they're like, you gotta talk to John Russell. You gotta talk to John Russell. And I'm like, well, can you make an introduction? Can we get together? And we had a couple conversations on the phone,
Right.
And then I came in and met you at your house here. And I gotta be honest, I feel like I've matured quite a bit since that first meeting.
It's a lot of conversations.
A lot of conversations.
It's a lot of training for both of us.
Yeah, I think what's really cool about this book is, one, it's really consumable. And what's really cool about the podcast is that we're going through your book chapter by chapter on these topics that are good for business leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs, those that want to get started in business, those that want to scale their business.
Yeah.
And they get to see two different perspectives. Your perspective, you've been in marketing in the business world much longer than I have.
3-4 decades.
That's a long time. And then my perspective, which I'm about 10 or 15 years in that realm. So it's really cool to get both our perspectives and having that back and forth conversation.
We started this as a test because you'd never done a podcast like this before. And of course, I'd never done a podcast like this before, but the book provided good content for us.
Yeah.
And I had a small audience of followers on LinkedIn when we started, but I was just looking at the numbers. Last week, our posts with the shorts primarily, but also some of the long form videos that are on our YouTube channel, had 434 impressions, which not bad for a week, you know. Since we started this, total impressions, 8,568.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, from essentially zero.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build an audience, posting every week and putting together a program that has some relevance and some level of interest to the audience. If you look at podcasts and you look at people's online brands, there's a lot of podcasts out there that are doing 1 million, 2 million, and you see who they are. They get paid on YouTube. They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know how much, but it must be enough because they're cranking the stuff out and they're driving new cars and they're buying new stuff. And I love to see it myself because I don't know if you're familiar with Just a Jackson thing, little kid who's a farm kid from Indiana. Likes John Deere tractors.
Oh, maybe I've seen a couple.
Yeah, well, everybody's seen him. He was on the Country Music Awards show with Luke Bryan.
Yeah.
Because Luke's got a farm.
Okay.
This kid and his mom have basically film this farm kid as he's growing up, and he has become an expert on John Deere tractors, and now John Deere sponsors him.
Okay, nice.
The guy's making like, I don't know, $1 million a year.
Yeah.
He's like 9.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomena.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody's going to do that, but there are things out there like that. If you have a hobby or you have some area of interest, whatever your sport is or whatever, if you want to start putting a podcast together, it's something that you should consider.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot of opportunity from different parts of society to make money online. And it all comes down to your subscribers, your viewers, your audience. And it's really cool to see your channel growth. I'm doing some weird stuff on my channel where I'm posting 2 pieces of content every day. But I haven't, made a lot of.
I started with a bigger audience.
Well, yeah, online. You're posting on LinkedIn, and
right.
I think that's where a lot more subscribers are coming from. But even like engagement is really cool. But we're posting the same content on your channel and my channel. And it's really cool to see and fun to see and interesting to see where a short might get 1,200 views on my channel and might get 96 views on your channel.
Right.
Or a short might get 1,400 views on your channel and it might get 10 views on my channel.
How do you explain that?
So it's really interesting to see the differences in data. And I'm excited to see what happens for the rest of this project, which we've been batch recording episodes, and we really built up. We probably could have started posting a lot sooner,
right?
But I wanted to have a good library in place, and so right now it is March, which this is a full year project,
right?
Which is a really big project. So we've been doing it for an entire year, and we just started posting content in September. So we probably could have started a little earlier, but to see the data that we're getting now, I'm excited to see where we're at 6 months from now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my Facebook page audience insights, and they're not like at my fingertips here, but I think my Facebook audience on my business page is up like 1,000% too.
I think that goes back to like the power of consistency. The more you post, the more value you share, the more opportunities you have to create connections, subscribers, audience growth, followers. The more followers, subscribers, audience you have, the more opportunity you have to create conversions. Now, is it going to happen right away? No, I don't think so. Video is a long-term game. But you can repurpose your content that you're putting out on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. If you want to do that,
right.
You can repurpose your stuff across all these different social media platforms.
Yeah.
If you're a business owner and you want to get your brand, you in front of the people that you can help.
So I have other ideas. I've come to the realization that while this book was a great source of content, there's other things that I want to do podcasts on.
Yeah.
Like I have a huge music library.
You do.
Record albums.
Yeah.
LPs.
Yeah.
Long play from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, almost like an entire radio station's music library.
Right.
Some of it's really eccentric. And it's very exotic.
Yep.
And it's bizarro. I haven't even listened to a bunch of it because there's thousands of albums. But I'm going to start, I got to find out what the legal parameters are, copyright. But I'm going to start doing a podcast on that. I know other people have, and it's become wildly successful. And I'd like to do other podcasts on some of the other things that I'm interested in that I think might be interested in. I train dogs for fun. I spent a lot of time fishing in the summertime. I think there's a lot of people out there who are doing videos and podcasts on that. So it's kind of a crowded field, but
I don't think that matters. Like if you are interested in a subject or a topic, there's going to be how many business channels are there? How many marketing how many sales channels are there? How many video channels out there are there? YouTube gets about 2.8 billion users every month.
A lot.
There's 114 million active channels on YouTube.
That's crazy.
So it's crowded, right? But it's who's in your natural market and then how they find you and if they want to connect with you. People like your personality, and that's why they connect with you. People like the value that you're sharing, and that's why they want to connect with you. And that is important. Your perspective on the world is what makes you unique.
Right.
And people are looking for your perspective on certain things or how to do certain things.
It's funny because a lot of my friends are do-it-yourselfers.
Yeah.
And they're really good at fixing stuff, whatever it is. Like my wife's cousin came over and fixed my faucet the other day that nobody could ever fix before. It took him 2 hours and the faucet was blowing water all over the kitchen a couple times. So it wasn't a pretty situation.
Yeah.
But if you want to know how to fix your faucet, you're going to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to know how to fix your lawnmower, you're going to YouTube. If you want to know how to hang a picture, you're going to YouTube.
Yep.
And it's become the go-to educational platform for everything.
Yep.
So what are you good at that you can share some of your knowledge and experiences with to help other people solve problems?
Yeah.
That's to me what these podcasts are all about. But I think this has been a huge success. And we're going to take a break because we've been shooting every week for a year, which is pretty intense.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When you put the discipline and the commitment together to make this happen, and I told you before how impressed I've been with you and Lucas and the fact that you guys have exceeded my expectations. It's a wow thing. I would be the first one to recommend you guys for any video work anywhere because I know how good you are. I would also recommend you guys for helping other professionals put together a cool podcast like this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of professionals out there, there's a lot of companies that have a lot to say, but are just sitting on their knowledge and they're not going anywhere with it.
And I think that's unfortunate. And you mentioned this in the podcast episode where people don't want to share their
knowledge,
which I think you want to give your.
Why are you hiding it?
You want to give your valuable you want to give your content out for free, right? And then you create products that will serve that customer where,
right.
You're just shooting out content out there of all the stuff that well, now you have a course that's collected, right? So if people can save time, and time is a valuable commodity that we don't get. So if I can save someone 6 months or a year or 2 years by having them go through my course, which lays out all the steps that they need to follow or things that they need to do or concepts or ideas or theories that I have gone through that has given me success,
right?
Then that makes it a valuable piece of content for them and they'll invest in that.
Yeah, if I could, I would put together an online course for sales, marketing, and advertising.
Yeah.
Because that's my wheelhouse, and you can only do so much. And those are like 3 different disciplines, but they're all interrelated. But there's a point where you can go take a class at the university. You're never going to get the School of Hard Knocks.
Right.
That's what this book is. That's what this video series has been about. Real world experiences, real world training. That's what I like to do. And it's difficult because everybody's situation is a little different.
Yep.
So if I was going to do a course, I would prefer to do custom coaching, just myself,
yep.
Because then it's a one-on-one situation. But that doesn't mean that we can't help people get a better grip on advertising, sales, and marketing with a course that's set up, and I'll call it, beginner's course, fundamentals.
Yep.
And then there would be an advanced course. That's just another great way to use podcasting as a tool to help other people and to promote your brand.
I agree with that. I think that, that's something that we've talked about in the past. That's something I'd like to continue to talk to you about moving forward.
It's hard.
But yes, so that is another
It's a mountain to climb.
long project.
Right.
But I think you can see that I'm.
But in the long run, if you chip away at it,
Yeah.
it just becomes part of your brand.
Yep.
And it actually is validation for what you do.
Yep.
And so while it's a lot of work and while it's a huge commitment and it's hard to follow through on, you said it. It's the long game. All of these things in business are more successful when it takes place over time and you're not trying to throw gasoline on the fire and throw a match at it.
Yeah, just try not to force it. Slow is smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth is fast.
Building relationships.
Yep.
You don't jump into bed the first night.
Takes a long time.
You got to work your way towards that level of intimacy where people trust you.
Yep.
And that they'll start to view you as a recommended expert. And that's how you get referrals, and that's how your business grows properly. So I think this has been a great success, and we'll wait and see what the next chapter looks like.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
I agree.
Any other thoughts on the podcast that we were wrapping up here?
No, I think no, it's just been a really cool experience, and really cool to build a relationship with you and a solid rapport with you. And you've helped me navigate some difficulties in my own business, which has been very beneficial. And I can't thank you enough for the knowledge that we've shared, that you've shared, that I've been able to collect over this past year. And I just think it's really cool that you gave me the opportunity to move forward with this project. It's evolved over time. It's been really cool to see the evolution where we went from one camera to 2 cameras to now we're in this location where we could just have the equipment set up for a couple months. It's been a really cool experience, a hell of a project, long project, but I am very grateful for the opportunity you've given me to do this with.
Yeah, the title on this video is going to be "What's Next?" Because we're not really done yet.
No,
I'm not done yet. This has inspired me to do more.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means, but between wrapping this up and thinking about what's next, I'm going to continue to shoot.
Cool.
One way or the other. You decide where we go from here. And then you don't want to see all my fishing videos. They'll be boring.
Yeah, I'm not a big fisher guy.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, that about covers it. Thanks for being with us through this entire project on Be a Stand-Up Leader, the ABCs of getting the job done right. I got to thank Jared and Lucas for making it all happen. Without them, it wouldn't happen. And if you are thinking at all about developing a stronger relationship with your audience, Whitman Media, call Jared and he will hook you up. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.